It's Forever Ollie. I want to thank everybody who watched my first video. I really, really appreciate. So, anyway, I came to you with this topic. It's been going on for the last, I would say, week or so. I'm kind of late, but it's because I really didn't want to do a video about it. I really didn't want to speak on it. It's just so much odds and ends and bits and pieces, and it's like it won't ever go away. And that is the death of the dancer Bogle. Before I really get into what I want to talk about, I want to say that this video is not condemning anyone. It's not pointing any fingers at anyone. The truth is that none of us know what happened. None of us. None of us. We can have our opinions. We can have our feelings, but at the end of the day, nobody knows what happened. Nobody has all the facts. And a lot of the facts have yet to come to light. And I'm not calling no names because I damn sure don't know who killed him. Events that took place after Bogle's death, I can see how they contributed to the demise of dancehall as we know it. Bogle was the iconic dancer of the genre. He was the first mainstream dancer to really go mainstream with his own dance. I don't believe there's a dancer before Bogle that came out with his old dance. And that dance was called Bogle. It was named after him. And growing up here in America, I remember distinctly the Bogle became not just a reggae dance, it was a mainstream dance. Everybody wanted to do that dance. That was like 92. The Bogle was the hot dance. Everybody wanted to do that dance. It was in hip-hop videos. It was in dance clubs, block parties. You had to know how to do the Bogle. And if you really was hot, you could go all the way down to the ground and do the Bogle and come back up with the Bogle. You know, like all the way down, like to the ground. So you were nobody if you couldn't do that. And he kept it fun. Dancing at the time was something that was not a joke. Everybody, the hot dance that came out, everybody practiced it. Everybody had to know it. You know, there was the zip it up, my favorite, the pepper seed, you know, that, like that, something like that. The pepper seed was hot. But yeah, those dances kept everything fun. It kept the parties definitely fun. And you had dancers. Bogle was not just the only dancer, but he definitely was the most prolific dancer. He was the god of dancing. He was the icon of dancing. All the little dancers out there came up behind him. And he's known as Father Bogle. Father Bogle. So, you know, I went to high school in Brooklyn. Big up Canarsie High School. 2006, I graduated. But, you know, I don't know why they used to let us do this. But every Friday night, they used to let us have these parties, right? And we was so bad. They shut it down after a while. But we used to dance. We used to dance our ass off. And we battled dance, you know. And that's what kept it fun, you know. Later on, other dancers came out, like John Hype, talented dancer. He had a different style than Bogle. Bogle dancing was more streamlined, more like neat looking, more cool, very simple, easy to follow, but you could build on it and make it hot. John Hype dances was more free, more body use, you know, like chaka chaka, you know. So today we still see some of that style in like a dancer like Shelly Belly. Shelly Belly was one of John Hape's proteges, and he reminds me very much of a John Hape, the way he dances. And we took dancing very seriously. And the people who could dance well, they were stars among us. They were like jocks among us. They were gods among us, dancers in our school, and our friends who could dance and stuff like that. So fast forward January 2005 now, and we come to school, and Bogle is dead. Word gets around that he's dead, and some people were crying. Some of us were very, very, very distressed. Just a word on the iconism of Bogle. Bogle was, in a lot of ways, more traveled and more in demand than a lot of artists at the time. He traveled a lot, and I would say that he had a very special relationship with us in Brooklyn because he was there a lot. He was there all the time. In Brooklyn, we have certain artists that, is ours, and Bogle was one of those. Elephant Man is another one. So, we were distraught when he died. We were very, very, very sad as teenagers. We cut school and mourned him, But he also was in a very iconic hood movie called Belly. I hope everybody has watched that. I hope everybody has seen that. That is an amazing, amazing masterpiece of a hood film. I would say hood because, it's based in the streets. And very genuine account of a hood story. It's very well acted, very well written. And it's one of those cult classic movies, and Bogle was in it, along with some other stars too from the dance hall world. So after Bogle died, let's talk about dancing after. And big up Ding Dong. Ding Dong has done along with Shelly Belly and Marvin. Don't get it twisted. Marvin is a amazing dancer. I know he's in a lot of foolishness a lot of times and stuff like that, but Marvin is a very, very, very talented dancer ever since he was young, and he's been doing this a long time. So big up yourself, Marvin. But Ding Dong and, those groups, they really try to keep dancing alive, and they really did do a good job for a long time with dances like Tech Way Yourself, but everything just got gangster after Bogle died with dancing. Even the dancing got gangster. Before Bogle died, everything was very colorful. Everything was more fun, like dances were more fun, everything like Sesame Street. Big up yourself, Scatterbarrow. Because he really changed a lot of the way that things had sounded around that 2003, 2004 sound period with rhythms like Coolie Dance. Things started to sound a little bit, different, more international sounding, more like world music in the rhythms. So that was just a great time to be alive and be dancing, So after that, dancing, it wasn't really colorful like it was then. It got a lot more gangster and dark. And that had a lot to do with the rhythms changing again with Steven, the genius, like I talked about in my last video. So then, the flame of dancing kept burning for a while, but then it just died. And I think the Montego Bay dancers like Isla and Daima, they came and they really showed us a new style of dancing and daggering that really was really fun and really authentic for a while. But then it just died. Then it just really, 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 really died after a while. See, You always need a leader. You always need. This is why Bounty Killer is so important in dancehall, because you always need a benchmark to let you know where things should be going and where things were, and to kind of checkmate how the culture is changing. After they took Bogle from us, it was like a free-for-all, you know? Anybody can be talented and anybody can be artistic, but not anybody can be a leader. Bogle, the whole language, everything, how we spoke, how we danced, revolved around Bogle. We spoke like him. All them there, autumn bad, oh so badly. That's how we talk. Bogle had us out here talking crazy. We didn't know what we were talking about. But this is how we talked. If you was cool, that's how you spoke. So Bogle gave us a lot, not just music. And true icons don't just give you one aspect of their talent. A true icon has you wanting to walk like them and talk like them and dress like them. We never seen nobody dress like that in dancehall. Let's keep it real. He had the, skull and bones and the gothic leather and the gloves and the combat boots, and he did it. He did it. And when Bogle died, they took something from us that was never could be replaced again. And I think we suffered greatly in dancehall. I would like to do a video about how Bogle's death really started the demise of dancehall. If you really look in 2005, after Bogle's death, until the end of 2005, we weren't really getting no good music, like no good rhythms and stuff like that. It was really at the end of 2005 that we really saw upstart again in rhythms. So I just wanted to come and do a video about that because I still miss Bogle. I really would love to know what dancehall would be like if he was still here. What would dancing be like? Will we have all this crazy flipping and jumping and madness that we have? I don't think so. I don't think Bogle would have. I don't think Bogle was very cool, very laid back. He wasn't into all this jumping and madness that they're doing now. And yes, I'm criticizing it. It looks stupid. It looks foolish. It doesn't look like anything that dancehall culture should want to put on the international stage as a representation of what it is. So, it's sad that 13 years after the fact, we still have no justice. And to the people who would like to just sweep this under the rug and just want this story to go away, and this rhetoric about Bogle's death and Bogle's life to go away, it's not. Bogle meant too much to the world for it to just disappear. It's not. People loved him. People loved that man very, very dearly. I can tell you very, very seriously that Bogle was up there with artists in how much people loved him. And I don't know the backstory. I have had to take a step back myself off of a lot of the ways I was thinking, a lot of the way I was going about this, and we don't know. That's the truth about the story. We don't know. We could just keep Bogle alive in our hearts, and we could just keep him alive in our minds. I hope a dancer comes out or is born that can pick up the slackness, because Ding Dong can't do it by himself. He can't. So I miss those days where dancehall was nice. And Mr. Wacky, we always gonna love you. We always gonna have you in our hearts. And dancing is not the same without you. It never will be. And that's really it. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, share. Let me know, what you want to hear. In the future, I want to do things more about lyrical content in dancehall songs. I want some of you guys to think about who are some of your favorite lyricists. Let me know who are some of your icons. I would like to do a video on a list of the greatest lyricists as voted by DJs and stuff like that who are into the music industry and stuff like that. Just to keep the dancehall culture alive, just so we have some retro things to reminisce on, because I think it's important. So let me know what you think. This is Forever Ali. Have a good night.